Can you stand to your feet? Let's worship. you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. No sky you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me.
What up, TNC? How you guys doing? Doing good? No answer? Nothing? Good. All right, before we get started, me and a couple other people, Isaiah and a couple other people have been working on something, and we're just going to show you, direct your eyes to the screen, we're going to show you something real quick, okay?
We do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers
over the present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in an evil day, and having done all, to stand firm.
For though we walk in the flesh, we are not waging war according to the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but have divine powers to destroy strongholds.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
He makes me lie down in green pastures.
He leads me beside still waters.
He restores my soul.
So what that was just a teaser for the actual video that we're going to make. That was just like a short little cut of it. We're going to be, if you want to see the actual video, you're going to have to make it to Lift Conference. It's going to be in September here at Calvary Church. And so yeah, and something that's really impressive about that, guys, is the pastors that contacted Isaiah and Faith about this less than 2 weeks ago, or about 2 weeks ago, about making this, and then we didn't even have that much time to even shoot the video. We actually shot the video starting Friday, and then all that was edited by Isaiah all the way till now. So give it up for Isaiah, guys. All right, guys. So I'm preaching tonight, as you can tell, but I didn't plan on it until last night. I was just driving in my car, and I got a call from the pastor in here. I called him, and we were on the phone, and he's like, so have you called him? And I was like, yeah. He's like, you're preaching tomorrow night, right? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, you can, right? I was like, well, I guess if you need me to. And so he said, he's like, well, I need you to. And I was like, well, then I guess I'm preaching. So yeah, that's how all that worked out. So I just found out last night at 5 o'clock that I was preaching that. So if it's not very good, still fake it and tell me it was, okay? Alright, so as I was preparing this last night, after like having no heads up for this, I had no clue what I was going to preach on. I was just like, am I doing this? This is tomorrow night, and I have no clue what I'm going to preach on. I have no idea what I'm going to say, nothing. And so I just had like 4 different things, and I'm like, well, I can preach on these 4 things. I was like, but I don't know. was like, what I'm going to preach on, or what he wants me to preach on, really. And so I just kind of went to bed. I was like, well, I'll just sleep on it, wake up, and see what I want to see, what he's wanting me to preach. And when I went to bed, I was reading my Bible, and I was just like, where do you want me to turn, God? Where do you want me to read? And he automatically told me to turn to Romans. So I turned to Romans. I was like, okay, from here, where do you want me to go, God? And he said 12. So I went to Romans 12. And I started reading down through there, and as I'm reading, every single thing that I was thinking about, maybe preaching about, was there in that book. So I was like, well, I'm just going to preach Romans 12. So I started preaching tonight, guys. There, we're going to follow real quick. Going to get to the verses. All right, and I'm reading out of the NLT tonight, guys. So what I'm starting off with in Romans, just my first point overall, you can write it down on your, we just left the outline blank because at the time I didn't know what I was preaching, so you can just fill it out as we go, just whatever you feel like you need to take from this and whatever God tells you to write down. So, but my first point overall is we all have a place and we all have a gift. In Romans 12, 4 through 8, it says, just as our bodies have many parts and each part has a special function, so it is with Christ's body. We are many parts of one body. We all belong to each other. In His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as God has given you. And if your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you are a teacher, then teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. If God has given you the leadership ability, take responsibility seriously. And if you have a gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly. Right there, as I was reading, that was just my main thing that I was wanting to preach on, was just like your gift and what you need to do and all that other stuff. And so I automatically went to that, and that just got me encouraged. But we all have a place and we all have a gift. Okay, so many of us are always like wondering what we're supposed to do. We don't know what our next step is. We don't even know if we have a purpose in life. We don't know where we're supposed to go, what we're supposed to do next, or we just have no clue a lot of the times. We're just going with the flow, going with the motions of life. We're just taking our next step as it comes, and none of us really know and even believe that we have a place or a gift. But according to God's word right here, Romans 12:4-8, it tells us that we all have a place and that we all have a gift and that we all have a talent. And so I want to encourage you guys tonight that whatever your gift is, whether it is, like I said, to prophesy, just to speak out, or to prophesy, to speak out with as much faith as God has given you, whatever your talent is, like, if you know how to just like, you can juggle really well. Who was at Kids Fest? Anybody? All those people, that dude can juggle well, huh? Like, anyone who wasn't there, the dude was like juggling swords, and he's juggling like flaming like torches. There you go, thank you. Flaming torches and all this other stuff, and he was like balancing on a ball. Like, who would have thought that someone could take that and turn it into something for Jesus? Because as he was juggling, everything that he did, like whether he was juggling, whether he was balancing on this like walking ball, whatever he was doing, he turned it towards God. And so that's what I want to say to you is like, we all have a gift. One of your talents might be you can play guitar really well, like Chris. He did great tonight, right, guys? Thank you, Chris, though, guys, because he took over when there was no one else here. So thank you again, Chris. But if you have a gift like Chris to play guitar well, he's using that for God. And if you have a gift to just sing really well, then you need to use that for God, whatever it may be. Even if you just have if you have a talent of just welding well, whatever your talent is, just use it for God. Because, and in fact, that's my next point too, is use your talents for Him. In Romans 12:1-2, it says, and so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to God because all He has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind He will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship Him. Don't copy the behaviors and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. So right there, it's talking about, like, we're all created, we all have these talents, and right there in verse 1, it's telling you, it's pleading, it's God. It says, I plead with you to give your bodies to God. He's pleading with you with whatever you have. Once again, I said, just give whatever you have to God, and give whatever you have to God. And then it's also saying, don't copy the behavior of the customs of this world. So if like my talent, like I was up here playing drums, and I know I'm not very good, but I can do it somewhat. And so I could have taken my skill of playing drums and I could have went off and played with some band that cusses and does all this drinking and everything else, and I could have went off and used that talent for stuff like that. But instead of doing that and using my talent to put people down and doing stuff that's going to discourage people and doing stuff that's not going to point people towards Jesus, I'm going to take every talent that I have and I'm going to use it for God, and I'm going to point people towards God through my talent. And you can do the same thing, just as that guy who was juggling. Like, of all things, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, you can find a way to use that towards, for God. Just like if you're a doctor, you can save somebody's life, and through saving somebody's life, you can point them to God. If they're like, thank you, doctor, for saving my life, you can just be like, well, that really wasn't me, that was just God using my hands and working through me. Whatever you can do, whatever talent you have, point it towards the Father in every way that you can. My third point tonight, guys, is be careful to not be prideful. Romans 12:3 says, because of the privilege and authority God has given me, I give each of you this warning. Don't think you are better than you really are. Be honest in your evaluations of yourself, measuring yourselves by the faith God has given us. So what I'm doing with that, what I'm taking from that is that don't be too prideful to think that you can't do little things in the church. If you're going to take your talent, you're going to serve, and you want to use that talent, just like if you want to come up here and sing sometime and you want to serve in that kind of way, don't take that, don't expect that you to be able to do that without thinking that you can't go and serve other places first. Just because Pastor Eddie said this before, that if you want to come up here and be if you want to be appraised on stage, you're going to have to serve in the little places first. Don't expect to just automatically be shot up in front of people and in the spotlight and getting praise from people if you're not going to first go and serve down in the dirt. Pastor Randy's told the story before of when he was younger. They had a church out on the church bus. They had a bunch of kids riding the church bus, and one of them ended up pooping in the church bus. And they got all up his back, and it got all the way over the seat and everything. And Pastor Randy, one of the lead pastors, had to went and clean that himself. That's something that's awesome about him, is he didn't put his pride before him and say, no, I'm too good to go clean poop up. He humbled himself low enough to say, I don't want to, but I'm going to go clean this poop up, okay? So that's what I'm saying. Don't ever think that you're too good to serve in little places, because if God can't trust you with the little things, He's never going to trust you with the big things, okay? And I want to check out this verse real quick. Oh yeah, and also said, or also in Romans 12:16, it says, live in harmony with each other. Don't be too proud to enjoy company of ordinary people, and don't think you know it all. So once again, don't think that you're too good to hang out with other people also. Don't think that you're too good to go into the darkest places of your town to reach people and bring them up. Don't think that you're too good to spend time with people who maybe aren't as fortunate as you and don't have as much money as you and aren't as clean as you, maybe just because of the fact that they don't have enough money and they're not rich enough to actually have a shower or a bath or something. Don't think that you're too good to like Brittany Rouse. She's off in Haiti. She didn't look at that dream from God and say, I'm not doing that. Those people are nasty. They're lower class, and I'm not going to do that. Don't think that you're too good to go spend time with people who may not be as fortunate as you. So be careful not to be prideful, because pride comes before the fall. My fourth point is work hard for the Lord. Romans 12:11 says, never be lazy, but work hard and serve enthusiastically. And 13 says, when God's people are in need, be ready to help them. Always be eager to practice hospitality. If you're truly wanting to serve God in every kind of way, and you're truly wanting to get to your dream eventually one day, you're going to have to work for it. Just like Caleb Killian over here, this dude, he's muscly, right? He's big, he's fit. Do you think he just got that just by sitting still and doing nothing? No, that dude had to work for it. He had to go and work out every day, and he had to work off all the fat that he had on him. He had to do all that stuff to make himself look the way he is. Everything that you want to achieve, you're going to have to work for. And that's same with Carson back there. He's built, and he had to work for it. And that's exactly how it is. Anything you want for, just like everybody up here who is playing an instrument, they didn't just walk up here and automatically be able to play an instrument. They had to practice. They had to put in the time, put in the work, put in the effort. Whatever you want, you're going to have to work hard for God. Work hard, but whatever you do, make sure you're working hard for the Lord. And be eager to serve, too. in your church, don't just like, if, because like, I don't know how to put it, like, if you're asked to serve somewhere and you say, yeah, I'll do it, but as you're walking, you're just like, gosh dang it, I have to go do this. Like, what kind of example are you setting for the people out there? Like, you're not showing any kind of enthusiasm. Don't just be eager to serve. Be ready to do anything for the Lord, no matter if it's cleaning poop or if it's singing on stage. Whatever it is, be eager and be ready to serve the Lord. All right, my fifth point is love people and let his light shine through you. So Romans 12:9. Okay, there's a lot of them. I'll just read them. So 9 says, do not just pretend to love others. Really love them and hate what is wrong. Hold tightly to what is good. And 10 says, love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring each other. If you're spending time with other Christians and with people, non-believers, if you are going out and you have to fake being like loving them and you have to fake everything and you have to just like put on a smile face in front of them, that's not really going to do anything for them. If you truly want to reach somebody and you truly want to be there for somebody and you truly want to just encourage somebody, you're going to have to truly love them. And the way that you get love, because it's stinking hard, guys. I know it's hard to love people sometimes because people are nasty, people are dirty, people will betray you, people will disappoint you, people are just dirty. They're not perfect in any kind of way. Everyone has their little rough edges and everyone has their little breaks. It doesn't matter. Even like Pastor Andy, right? He looks so perfect, right? Yeah, right. I think so anyways, but he has his little rough edges and everything. He has stuff that's wrong with him, you know, and even if you may not see it, he really does. And that's how every person is. You know, sometimes you're going to be around people and they're not going to treat you right. It doesn't matter if they're treating you good or not. You need to love them back, and you need to take the grace that God has shown to you and show it to other people to truly show God's love to them. Romans 12:17 says, never pay back evil with more evil. Do things in such a way that everyone can see that you are honorable. That's again, like I was just saying, like if someone is, like I just said, love somebody, even if they're treating you in a wrong way, if they're like coming at you, I don't know, just anything, if someone comes at you with ready to just insult you, and someone comes at you and tells you that you're stupid and you're ugly and you didn't play that well and you didn't do this well and you're not good at this or whatever, lots of times our first nerve, our human reaction is to automatically just be like, no, you're stupid, no, you're dumb. Like, I always catch myself joking around, like, just with people. I'll just be like, they won't even say anything. I'll be like, no, you're dumb. And they just start laughing. But anyways, that's just because it's like a reaction. It's just the first thing we want to say is, no, that's not me, that's you. And we want to point fingers. When someone says something to us, don't ever just turn back and try to insult them again, because when Judas came and kissed Jesus on the cheek, and he like betrayed him, did Jesus right there say, like, get mad at him and start screaming at him and telling him that he's dumb and all this other stuff? Jesus just let it go. And whenever Peter betrayed him 3 times in a row when he promised him he wouldn't, whenever they asked him, do you know Jesus? Are you friends with Jesus? And he denied him 3 times and said, no, I do not know this man. Did Jesus automatically just disown him? No, he still loved him. And that's exactly, when we all murdered Jesus on the cross, did Jesus automatically disown all of us? No, he died on the cross for us specifically. He didn't take his life. He didn't send his one and only son down to the cross to die for us just to turn his backs on us. He made us for a reason. Romans 12:15 says, be happy with those who are happy and weep with those who weep. What I'm taking from that is just, I don't know. I was saying, like, earlier to not be prideful and spend time with other people, but if you're truly going to be a servant of God and you truly want to set out the little things and do exactly what Jesus calls you to do, if Jesus has somebody on your heart and that he is telling you to pray for and he's telling you to just be there for, if he's because I know there's plenty of times Jesus has laid a specific person on my heart to pray for and to seek after, to spend time with and all this other stuff. And
with one of them specifically, I'm not going to name names or anything. The guy was going through something really stinking rough, and he was just hurting really bad. And I went and talked to him, and the first time I went and talked to him, he just completely denied me. He just didn't talk to me at all. He got mad at me and pushed me away. But later I came back and just kept pressing on him and just kept trying to talk to him. And eventually he got to a point where he finally just broke down, and he was crying, and he just kept talking to me. And I sat there. There was a service going on, actually, and I came out of the service, and I sat there for probably every bit of 2 to 3 hours just listening to him talk and just being there. That's all I did. I didn't say hardly anything. I just listened to every single thing he said, and I just listened. And he just kept talking, and he kept talking, and we got to the end of it, and he just kind of, and he just said, man, that feels good to just lay that all out. You know, the best thing you can ever do to love people and just show God's light is just to literally be there and listen. If they have something to say and they need someone to talk to, all you got to do is be there. You don't even have to say anything. It's like, well, I don't know what to say to them. You don't have to say anything. Just spend time with them. Just be there for them. Show them love specifically through your presence. And that's when I was thinking about this, giving you an example of just like why does that mean so much? Why does just the presence of somebody mean so much? You know, everyone likes memes, right, and all that. Yeah, there was a meme I saw a while back that was like a girl talking about one of her friends, and she's like, my boyfriend broke up with me, and then my best friend was madder at him than I was. You know, and that's why it is. Like, why is it like that? Why are we so like, sorry, I'm stuttering. Like, why is that funny? Why are we able to relate to that? Because someone who cares about us and someone who's willing to put in the time for us is who we care about the most. You know, that's why we love them. 6, don't repay evil with evil. Romans 12:14 says, bless those who persecute you and don't curse them. Pray that God will bless them. Be happy with those who are happy and weep with those who weep. And then 17 through 20 says, never pay back evil with more evil. Do things in such a way that everyone can see you're honorable. Do all that you can to live in peace with everyone. Dear friends, never take revenge. Leave that to the righteous anger of God. For the scriptures say, I will take revenge. I will pay them back, says the Lord. Instead, if your enemies are hungry, feed them. And if they are thirsty, give them something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals of shame on their heads. So that right there, guys, just that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to reach somebody that's coming at you with their swords drawn, coming at you to attack you, you can't automatically just come back and attack them again. Like I said earlier, you just gotta love them, because you guys have all heard the saying, kill them with kindness. That's exactly what it is. When someone's coming at you, trying to attack you and trying to attack your character and everything like that, you can't just sit there and fight. You can't attack back and fight back. I know that sounds wrong, but like, if you truly want to show love to someone and truly want them to change, when someone attacks you, you can't automatically attack back. You can defend what they're trying to say, but then you got to just turn around and love them. You know, something Josh said, we went down to a camp in Mississippi here about a week ago with Father Lights to Play, and while we were down there, I don't know how we got on a subject of something, and Josh said, repaying evil with evil doesn't make good. You know, you can't take evil and then repay it with more that's what I'm trying to remember exactly how he said it. Sorry, guys. He said, doing wrong to try to correct a wrong is wrong. Do you understand it now? That's the way he said it. He said, doing wrong to try to correct somebody in the wrong is wrong. Okay? So don't take somebody, like if you see somebody else in sin also, you can't just go up to them and automatically attack them and do something wrong towards them, because that's not right, okay? If you see somebody, you can't just, anything that happens, you can't attack somebody if they're coming at you. You got to attack them with love. You got to kill them with kindness, you know, because that's the best way to make them to actually see the Father. And 7, we got to have a hope for the future and be patient in our waiting. Romans 12:12 says, rejoice in confident hope, be patient in trouble, and keep on praying. If the band wants to come on back up, please. Hope for the future and be patient. Romans 12:12, rejoice in confident hope. Be patient in trouble, and keep on praying. You know, so many of us get in these waiting periods, and when we're in that waiting time, we just get so eager to just keep going, and we're like, God, I want to move right now. And sometimes Jesus is trying to hold you back from moving in that moment because he has a better plan, and he has something else planned for you that you may not know. But like sometimes, I don't know how to put this. God's holding you back because he knows that you may run off and hurt yourself in some kind of way. But he's holding you back for the perfect timing. God's timing is perfect. If you're in a waiting period, don't get so excited about what's coming next, and don't get so eager to move that you're not going to wait on God's timing, because God's timing is perfect. And just be patient and ready and just be ready for what's happening next. You know, just keep doing what you know you need to be doing in your waiting time. But if something's coming, but if like you're still not moving and God's still not like making you go yet, don't get so mad at him, and don't automatically try to go on your own, because the second we rely on ourselves is the second we're going to break. You know, God led the Israelites out of Egypt, and they in Moses and all them, Moses led them out of there. They came through the Red Sea, and they came into the deserts, you know, and they were supposed to enter the promised land. But because of Moses not listening to God, sinning, not in a way of moving before God told him, but instead disobeying God, it made them wait for 40 years in the desert. Could you imagine waiting for 40 years for something to happen? I've only been alive for 18 years, and I feel like that's a long stinking time. So 40 years of just waiting for something. Say you had to wait in just a little desert, being trapped in the desert for 40 years, and that's all you could do, and you just had to live in this wasteland, and you couldn't enter the promised land for 40 years, when you know as soon as you enter into this place, everything gets better, but you'd be stuck in that for 40 years. God knows what he has for you, and God has a plan, and his timing is perfect. So trust what God has for you, and have a hope for the future. Know that if God told you something, it's going to happen. Pastor Andy said before, don't doubt in the dark what Jesus has already told you in the light, okay? Something that's just hope for the future. If Jesus is giving you a promise, hold on to that. Don't let it go. Don't let it just pass you by and slip away. If you're in a waiting period, it doesn't matter how long you're going to be waiting. Just keep holding on to that promise, because eventually your promise is going to take off, and you want to make sure that you got a firm grasp on that when it takes off, or else you're going to lose it. And if you don't have a hope for the future, right now, I'm telling you that if you are you're just going through the motions of life, and you have no idea, you have a hope for nothing, because you know, us Christians, we have a hope for the future because we've been saved by Jesus Christ. But those who haven't have no hope for nothing, for anything, because of the simple fact that the earth just exists. Without God, it would just be here. There would be nothing to look forward to. There would be no tomorrow. There would be nothing to be excited about. But through God, we have a hope for the future. So if you right now and you're like, man, well, I really don't have anything to look forward to. I don't really have a hope for the future. I don't really have a hope for the next day. I don't really have a dream from God or anything. Just right now, if you're wanting a hope for the future, I encourage you that you can just pray this prayer with me right now. So everybody bow your heads and close your eyes. If you want a hope for the future, and you're done going through the motions of life and not knowing what to do next, and not even knowing what this whole life is for, and you need a hope for the future, and you're done just being stuck in a wasteland, right now, Jesus is your answer. Jesus is your hope for the future. Jesus is the one thing that can actually give you hope, because so many things on TV, so many things in the world promise you a hope, and they promise you something that's just going to fulfill that empty gap in your life. They promise you fulfillment in so many things, but I promise you, no matter what it is, it will only last a little while. It may last you a whole week, or it may last you a whole year, but I promise you that girl, that Xbox, that toy, that car, whatever it is not going to last you very long. It may fulfill your empty gap for maybe a week or a month or so, but it's not going to last long. If you want a true fulfillment of that gap in your life, and you truly want to have a hope for the future, you need to accept God right now. So if you're making that decision, everybody pray along with me aloud. These aren't the magic words to get into heaven or anything, but these are just me helping you express what's in your heart right now. So if you're wanting to get saved, pray this aloud, and everybody pray along with them so they're not alone. So, dear Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for dying on the cross. I thank you for giving me a hope for the future. And I thank you for giving your life for my sins. And I pray right now that you would come into my life, that you would captivate my heart, and that you would help me transform my life for you. From this moment on, I'm going to choose to follow you. I'm going to choose to love you. And I'm going to choose you all the time. I thank you for loving me. And I thank you for saving me. In your holy, almighty, precious name I pray. Amen.
Hi, thank you for checking out Calvary Church Live. Be sure to tune in again and check out the links below for information on how to give and connect with our church.